So today God is saying that not every bad or evil or wicked abusive person is a narcissist. And not every victim of abuse or the person on the receiving end of the narcissist is a chosen one, right? We used to coin this phrase years ago as the narcissist versus the empath, right? Meaning that for many years now, there's been a dark version and a light version, a hard version and a soft version, right? Where there's this juxtaposition, right? This duality. Only in the last few years has chosen became a coined phrase or term, right? And same along with the narcissist. So it went from sociopath or abuser or whatever you want to say, aka evil one, versus the victim, aka the empath slash receiver slash whatever, right? As we always know, there's always has to be I forget what the word is, protagonist, antagonist, or something like that, right? Where there's always a person, sorry, a person feeling superior and a person feeling inferior, right? What God is saying is that in this last couple years, it's now been deemed that same dynamic, but deemed as the evil. It's turned almost went from kind of psychological terminology to spiritual terminology, where it's still a narcissist type, but now we call them a demon, or working for Satan, which again they are. I'm not saying they aren't, they are. Versus the empath nowadays slash chosen one, but the dynamic is the same, the juxtaposition the same, where there's an antagonist and a protagonist, or an aggressor and an aggressee, a victimizer and a victim, right? But the Lord is saying that not every single person is a narcissist and not every single person is a chosen, right? So meaning that just because you were on the receiving end, whether it was in childhood or adulthood or just last night or next week or next month, just because you're on the receiving end of some sort of demonic contact from an opposer or an outside force, whether this dynamic be with a family member or a partner or a friend or whatever, a coworker, name it how you will, that doesn't necessarily make you a chosen one per se, right? Because for instance, we have 8 billion people on the planet, and even just say if we divided it straight down the middle, that say half the population is the narcissistic demon aggressors, and the other half is the receivers, victims, empaths, whatever, the I don't know what you'd say, the lesser label, I guess, the softer version. Yes, the softer version is saying they're chosen. That would mean there's 4 billion chosen people. But the truly chosen of the Lord is far less than that, right? And I've made videos about this before, where the Lord has told me that the whole chosen terminology now it's not just a cool, trendy word. The Bible actually speaks about the chosen ones. It's actually biblical, right? And the Lord has told me that only those that truly walk with Him could be considered chosen and understand what the term chosen means. But New Age has adopted it, and they started throwing it around. People that don't even have any understanding of spirituality or religion or Christianity or anything of the sorts, they throw it around. It's become a trendy word. But aside from all that, the Lord has a very small group of people that are truly chosen, right? But away from that, the Lord is allowing this dynamic to continue of, like I said, even though it's blown way out of proportion, He's allowing this juxtaposition, dark side versus light side terminology or divisiveness. Is that it? Division, whatever the word is. to continue and have people call themselves something they're not, like label said person a narcissist or a demon, and then also adopt the term for themselves as a chosen one / empath. He's allowing this to happen, even if those positions are not necessarily accurate, because the whole point to him at this time anyway, and it'll change in the future, but at this point is to wake the world up to the fact that whether in the 60s or 70s we called them psychopaths, whether in the 90s we called them narcissists, whether nowadays we call them demons, it definitely all stems from the same side. It comes from the dark side, right? It comes from the pits of hell, no matter what. Anybody that needs to be that aggressive or that abusive or that whatever you want to say and create victims, that's definitely demonic. No lies about that. Just because somebody's doing all that doesn't necessarily mean that they are all that. They just need to, some of them truly are children of Satan, but others of them are, like I said, they've been bitten by the bug that's gone around for many years that we're all guilty of falling into sometimes. Because as we know, Satan is on the prowl like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And his main objective is to kill, steal, and destroy. So therefore, he's looking for believers and non-believers alike, narcissists and empaths alike, demons and chosen ones alike, to be able to find a host. So the Lord is saying that it's not even all about these labels per se. It's just, oh, sorry, I had to sneeze. He's allowing this, like, understanding or these labels or positioning to occur, to continue, because the main point remains where we must wake up to the fact that the world is being controlled by demonic influence. And it's not new. It's been happening for decades. We've just became wiser with it is all, and more awakened to it is all, and called it different names and different terminology. But the Lord is saying that the positioning is the same, and the origins of where it comes from Satan, is the same today as it was in the 90s, as it was in the 70s, etc. Right? It's not new. Like I said in the past word there, Satan's been unleashed on the planet for who knows how long, right? But the Lord confirmed that. So don't be so quick to judge others and just take on this victim label of like, well, they're the bad one and I'm the victim, so that's that. I'm now chosen, they're a narcissist, point blank, period. The Lord is saying they're not necessarily all that. They could have just fallen into Satan's traps that he lays out for everybody, and they need prayer, and, you know, it's not your job to judge, right? And secondly, who said that you were chosen, right? As I've already established, the Bible's true chosen ones are actually a minority, not a majority. And the Lord is going to highlight who really is a demon and who is a child of Satan, and who really is a true chosen one, child of his. These things will be revealed in the future. But as we know right now, it's became popular, and the Lord is allowing that like popularity to continue, because his point isn't so much about pointing out who's what at this point in time. It's that he's interested, and part of his plan is creating this understanding of this dividing line of dark versus light, evil versus good, right? This dynamic's been playing out for centuries, decades and centuries, but we are becoming more and more aware of it as the decades are going by, as the Lord starts to wake up and enlighten people, right? And as Satan puts his venom, that's what I'm hearing, venom out all the more, right? Because he is a serpent. So I hope this is making sense. Like, so just know that not every single person that says they're chosen is chosen once again. And just because you've been the receiver or the victim of somebody else's aggression doesn't necessarily make you chosen per se. You know, and again, it's not new age. It's not a new age thing. It's not a trendy thing. It's not a cool thing. It's actually pulled from the Bible, right? It actually has a biblical pretense to it. And it's in a far more minority than the world likes to think it is. And they're being truly chosen entails a heck of a lot more than just being a victim of somebody else's abuse. And hey, my family member's a narcissist. My ex was a narcissist, male or female, fill in the blank, right? The Lord is saying these are just labels, and that at the end of the day, it's His job to be the judge and jury, not ours, whether you're on the light side or the dark side. And that not every single person is truly chosen. Not every single person is a demon or a narcissist, right? Again, the Lord, that's why the Lord has to test our hearts, is to verify who's really what. And anyone can sit and say, like, so for instance, I say that my ex was a narcissist and I'm an empath, right? But maybe from their point of view, I'm the narcissist and they're the empath, right? So I'm just pointing out that, or say if yourself, you know, you say you're chosen and the other person, the other ex party is the demon. Well, maybe they think that you're the demon and they're the chosen one. So that's the thing, is that the Lord is only the one that can truly judge for this, right? And when you're truly a chosen one of God, you know that you are. And it comes down to more than just simply the fact of, well, I was in a position of being a victim versus a narcissist or versus a demon, right? So the Lord just put that on me to put out a quick word about that. And again, like, I hope I do the message justice, because I understood it perfectly, but sometimes it's hard to convey exactly what He means. But yeah, I hope it makes sense to whoever comes across it, and those who have ears to hear will hear the message. God bless.